Maneva na say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Dr. Sophie has also reminded Mahama to revisit Professor Frimpong Boatengs' report on galamsey miners and also take it seriously, and that will help his administration to recover and know the people involved in illegal mining. He said a lot of things which I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. And your comments on that are mostly welcome. Please do leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only authentic source of political gist, which you can't mix out. Please just subscribe for more videos, like, and also share to other friends of yours on other platforms you belong to as well. Do that for us, please, and you never regret being part of us. God bless you all. Thank you.
You, sir. My special greetings to Mr. Prince Derek J, the firebrand who is dreaded by the baby elephants in the media space. We are proud of his relentless efforts to promote the national interest. Let me have his number for further interaction. I'm a citizen, not a spectator, from Ketu South, the World Bank of the Umbrella family. Ken William, thank you for your message this morning. You see, today I've read your message quite early. I don't want trouble. Now, let me come to you. Okay, well, so before Seth Abochi says, I somehow agree with KOD, but at least something is being done within the 3 months. Let's appreciate it. More so, the end crowns the work. NDC will one day account for their stewardship. Let's all get involved and not stand aloof. We can only get involved.
I sent him an open letter concerning the religious, the clergy. And then this is my second open letter to him. I hope that he will find it necessary to actually at least have a look at it. I agree with what my big brother and my colleague doctor have said. The issue of galamsey, I think all of us around the table here agree on one particular thing, that it is a criminal act that must not actually be condoned in our fabric of, in our societal fabric. But when he was speaking, he mentioned some dimensions, but he forgot one. One of them, key, is a political economy dimension, which we don't have to actually run away from. Look, just last month, the Minister for Finance came out and said that last year alone, Ghana lost about 2.6 billion United States dollars just for smuggling, gold smuggling out of the country. Who are the people behind that? Is it not politicians?
Yeah, they are. Yes.
They are politicians. Look, the people we see over there, he made mention that we go and arrest the small boys. Who engage the small boys? If you arrest them, you interrogate them, definitely they will link you to the right people behind the whole menace. So I want to say that, look, yes, the government has not been in office for quite a long time, but that does not also mean that we don't have to raise the red flags. Please. The ministers, 1 month is enough for you to settle.
Yes.
Let us not, prolong the honeymoon for them. The ministers today, that would have grown to stock our water bodies so that people who are, who see fishing, local fishing as the economic livelihood, would have actually depend on them. If after the show, please watch it. They are dying. And the water bodies are also dying. You see, just as we relate with plants, they give us oxygen, we give them carbon dioxide. The same symbiotic relationship is also found in water. If the organisms in the water bodies die, the water, no matter what you do, you can go and dredge it, they will die. So this is a serious matter. And if Ghana is forgetting, we have Boku issue. We have pocket of chieftaincy and land dispute issues across the country. And then let us also refer to the Niger Delta issue in Nigeria, which later escalated, and now it has metamorphosed into Boko Haram and all of that. It was about extractives, of which gold mining is also under that particular sector. When the whole thing started, the indigenous felt like, oh, the multinationals are drilling the oil, so let us also go and do it irresponsibly and then illegally. And then the state sat down, and then we all know what has happened to Nigeria over the years and the economic losses. In Ghana here, if we don't take a look, that thing has now moved beyond environmental crisis.
It's now ecological genocide.
And then also national security issue.
Yeah.
Any little trigger. Because now, you know what they are doing? They have amassed wealth to the extent that they can even acquire very, very sophisticated weapons. Sophisticated weapons. Look, I have been on the field a few weeks, and the things that I saw, my brother, if I share it with you, I mean, we sit in Accra here and speak big grammar. We don't know what is going on over there. And go and see the indigenous, the only water sources in Ashanti region. I don't want to mention the village's name. Galamsey has polluted the water, and they have no borehole, they have nothing, no alternative source of water. And so they have to pick gallons. And you see children at the age of 5-4 following their parents to walk several kilometers to nearby villages just so they can get water. And if you see the bowls and the gallons holding them and looking at the distance, how much quantity can they gather so that when they come, it can actually
in your
help them?
submission, you made mention of some collaborative work which must happen.
Yes.
Okay, we must not be demised in thought to think that we can fight galamsey in isolation.
Yes.
We cannot do that.
Yes.
Because now we are under some settled, hopeless expectation of success.
Yes.
Now, so what we can do is the first option or prescription that you have provided.
Yes.
Even though I like the exposés that you are bringing to the fore, it is also important that within that context.
But since you have brought it, and for the sake of time, let me just cut it short and move in there. You see, it's all about political will. Because if you are looking for one of the finest politicians and honest politicians that we have in this country, that good old professor is one of them. And this is a man whose party was in government and was able to compile that report to expose the rot being engaged in or undertaken by his own government. I would have wished that, look, people like him, President Mahama, whatever he's doing in the course of fight of the galamsey, he should be brought on board. And that report must be taken seriously. That is what I will say.
You've answered my question.
That's what I will say.
Proceed no further.
Thank you.
Good morning to you all. I'm watching you from Medina. Send my regards, my greetings to my senior brother, Dr. Felix Larry Esilfi. This one is from George Kovena Emisa. Well, George, good morning. Thank you. This one also says, among all the president appointees, Muntaka is the only person that I doubt his credibility, because how can you work with Mamitiwa at the defense? They should change him to chieftaincy ministry and get a serious person to do his job. He is 50-50 with the opposition. James Mano sent in this one. That's his opinion. Why?
That's his opinion.
We can't gag people from. But I want to move to another topic.
Just I think in fairness. First with the Muntaka area.
Yes, sir.
He's in charge of interior.
Absolutely.
Which includes border security.
Absolutely.
So he knows what he's doing when it comes to border security. Maybe he just wants to reset and make sure that nobody comes in like in the past when Aisha Wan was able to come in under President Akufo-Addo, who said he didn't know how she came in. Muntaka, given the opportunity with the immigration, should be able to deal with that decisively. With the new heads that he has no excuse. Number two is that he's changed the police commanders in regions, and that includes divisional and district commanders and regions where the galamsey thing is going on. Are you aware? That was one of the pronouncements.
He's asked that they be transferred.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a positive.
Original commanders.
Is that positive?
Depending on how you look at it.
No, hold on. You see, you've been critical of the man. I think that where the man has gotten it right, also you must be same, even-handed. You see,
we can make that determination. We can make that determination if the change yields the results we're looking for. I can't sit here and make a determination about the decision.
He says, for example, he prefers the deportation of these criminals who are engaged in galamsey, who are foreigners. He prefers that. Maybe because our courts are going to be busy with a lot of criminal cases of our own, people who have looted and so on. I mean, already discontinuation of court cases to ease these courts, specialized courts being asked for galamsey and all that. Specialized fast-track courts, tribunals are being asked for. I mean, the volume of scandals and people who need to be, prosecuted for the loot recovered for Ghana to move will require a lot of freeing. I don't want to, argue with him on that. He has the power. He's chosen the path. But changing of the commanders is instructive. We saw military men together with Delta Force and Invisible Forces on video in Tonto Krom, in one of galamsey exposés by Erastus, which means that military men are compromised. Same with police. Now he's saying that the police commanders, you've been given an opportunity over a long period to fight galamsey, you've not been able to do it. It is possible you're compromised. Whether you're compromised or not, go. Now the new ones that come.
We are looking for a way out. All right?
Yes.
Every institution has a role to play. Their roles are specifically spelled out. We are only saying that if we are so committed to dealing with the issue of galamsey, then we must trigger the security institutions or the security authorities.
Can you mention the names and I can help you with the names?
You are not getting. I'm still missing the point. Anyway, let's
Gabby or Chesako.
Good morning.
All those people. How many of them can be arrested today?
Will
you support the police
and
the BNI and so on to arrest them? Will you support the MPP to resist?
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
Please, let's.
What are you talking about?
One of the serious things that we must do about the law. Exactly. Everybody can be arrested. Let's not create that. So let us start resisting the for those and others who are resisting arrests. Look. That is a starting point. Let's not create the impression that everybody is about the law. Everybody in this country can be arrested. But resist. And in spite of the resistance, the person must be arrested. So the Ghanaians must resolve that NDC or MPP. We don't need that. That's why we don't need that. Do your job. Look, Prince. Let's not create the impression that somebody is about arrest. Everybody can be arrested.
Something have you done? What to prove that Ghanaians are backing or are not supporting the government to go after Intim for you?
No statistics. Hold on.
But let's make sure that anybody that can be arrested. It is up to the government. Let the government arrest the person. Everybody can be arrested. Let's go to Mahama. You want about it?
Let us do.
Yes.
Let's focus on it.
Let's proceed.
This man wants to just.
No, but it's a what have you done?
No one is above arrest in this country.
Good morning, lawyer and your panel. Galamsey must be stopped immediately, as promised by the president, and take time to deal with the situation. The deportation of the Chinese men and women is absolutely uncalled for. But jailing poor Ghanaians, if they arrest the small fishes, they should interrogate them and arrest the big fishes.
Yes.
And bring them to face the law. My name is Kojo Menu. Kojo Menu, thank you very much.
Impunity.
Thank you very much, Kojo Menu, for your wonderful message. I appreciate it.
And
listen, Garbage should be arrested.
Good morning.
Evidence for the arrest, they should be arrested.
Please, can I read my messages? Let me. Oh, Prince, please. Good morning to you, Pan-African team. Please, Ghana is gradually and quietly getting to the Rwandan genocide.
I'm telling you.
Whatever was bad yesterday should be bad today.
Yes.
But is that what we see today? No. First class and second class politicians make hate speeches. No action is taken to deter the youth. If you see a guy and a Igbo man hit him with an object on the head, nothing happened to the person who made that speech. Look at Ameswale's photo and beat him. The next moment he was killed. If you see NPP man and NDC man fighting, join the NPP man and beat the NDC man. Nothing happened. In Rwanda, a tribe was insulted and that resulted into genocide. Go to Isawam today and listen to the youth. Time bomb. When it happens, the security experts, security analysts, and whatnot will show up, making unnecessary noise. See what has started in our SHS today. It is becoming serious. Ajin Asare from Kuforidia sent in this message. Brilliant, fantastic point. Thank you. God bless you. Alaji Hamza in Pig Farm says, good morning to you, my brother. Truth be told, we cannot afford to fail in this fight against Galamsey, else the good people of this country will not forgive us.
Sure.
The promise we made to Ghanaians during the campaign was we were going to revoke LI 2462, but not amend it. So this LI 2462 should be revoked.
Exactly.
I need your advice here. What is stopping the government from declaring a state of emergency in areas galamsey is taking place. My brother, this is act of terrorism against the state. And for that matter, the government should not treat these galamseyers with kid gloves. According to Honorable Muntaka, galamseyers are not being prosecuted when they are arraigned before the court of law. This is sad to hear, my brother. This is from Alhaji Hamza.
Yes.
Alhaji Hamza in Pig Farm. This one says, please tell Prince to behave himself. We don't want him to behave like Sakasalia. Okay, please. What is this? Read it. Read the last. Read it. Please. Tell Prince to behave. I've always been the victim, so I'll read it. Why would I conclude the message? I'm telling you, people are listening to the show. This morning, we will make one. Good morning, Caleb.
He said, please.
Allow praise to flow. He speaks our mind. The corrupt officials must be arrested. Musa from Tamale. This one should be me right up. Come in. Don't mind NDC. They are talkatives. They can never fight galamsey. I personally am disappointed the way His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his government are approaching matters. So many investigations have gone on. From where you sit, okay, looking at the commodities that we usually export, the revenues that we generate thereof from those exportations that we do, right? And the import, and also what we call the agua. You know, we have this agua agreement, which allows for some commodities, which allows for some commodities to be exported to the United States of America tax-free, right? And the importance of that to the manufacturing sector in Ghana. So there's some interconnectedness which I want us to link and see how through that we'll be able to perhaps, if not necessarily retaliating by way of either tariff measures or NTMs, non-tariff measures, right? But inwardly looking at how we can expand, you know, for instance, industrialization, mixing that with trade policies so that we can create agro parks and hubs and supply regionally, you know, and by extension, also protecting our local industries so that we can grow the economy. So I've summarize my paper to you.
Give me the abstract, so I'll pick it from there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I will start by first of all talking about the both direct and indirect effects of that trade war. I think last week an excerpt of it came here when I think which country was that? Rather
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. It was 18%, something like that, and they decided to do nothing about it. Yes. So the trade war ongoing, be it between China and US, or even with the 10% tariff imposed on Ghana, is going to have a dire consequences on our export earnings as well as
so
our
Zimbabwe,
as well as our local industry. The war that is ongoing, you see, it's going to affect us indirectly and directly. It's going to actually trigger what is called exchange rate hikes, which will then push our cedi, to a further depreciation zone. Simply because, you see, now the price for our exported commodities are no longer going to be competitive.
Right.
Because, you see, our exporters being rational, looking at the tariffs imposed on them, will have to adjust their prices a bit upwards in order to make up the losses that they are going to make. And as a result of that, they are not going to be competitive with other countries on the same market who may not necessarily be affected by that particular policy. And when that happens, it's going to have a negative effect on our export volumes, especially when you look at the non-traditional export commodities. Okay, and if we say the non-traditional export commodities, we are talking about of our local, industry.
Yeah, so maybe we must expand the conversation beyond that, because it is not by reason of the trade agreements or the trade treaties which have been signed, which is causing your local industries to not produce or to not produce, right? And that's why, because it's most of these international or third world, developed countries, right? What they do is that they subsidize production for the local businesses for export.
Yes.
So there's some direct government, involvement in the production. So when it comes here, it's cheaper than. But in Ghana, you are not able to first of all get support.
Yes.
For production,
yes,
and so the cost of production goes.
Yes,
the price of the cost of production is always high.
So here, you see, we have both forward and backward linkages. What you just said is the backward linkage at home. What are the homegrown policies that is making these foreign producers highly competitive? There are some sort of incentives being given to them by their government. Is that not the case? And some policies to encourage them to expand and expand production and export. Now, the forward linkage is the trade agreement that they have signed with their supposed, market destinations, Africa. That is why I'm looking at it now. Look, we can do all the homegrown policies, give incentives and what have you. We need markets. And in the market you are going, they are imposing tariffs and putting some sort of trade policies that will not inure to the benefit of your homegrown policy. That is actually incentivizing them to be able to produce. It's not going to achieve much. So we need to look at both the forward and then the backward linkages. Now the forward linkages is what I said. Let us diversify our trade relations. We shouldn't focus mainly on the US market. We should look at within Africa. How can we actually, ECOWAS now has to come in, economic community of West African states. Is that not the case? I hope I'm not getting the whole thing. Right. Look at the term economic. So it means it was created purposely to enhance trade amongst ourselves. Why are we not doing that? You see, that is the problem. If a continent, if you go to Asia, look, I've had the opportunity to travel to China, India, and Japan, and it's very beautiful. Look, there are some commodities you see in India. When you go to China, the prices are almost the same. If you look at the currency valuation and all of that, the prices are almost the same. Why? Because they are able to trade amongst themselves in the Asian Pacific, area. So
what I wanted to just bring to your attention.
Okay.
Is that some of these treaties, the percentages are equal. Because when the World Trade Organization has, for instance, a 25% tariff on all commodities. The idea is to ensure that there's equity.
Yes.
And it's to ensure that goods and services can move freely without the hindrance of tariffs, right? Of course, domestically, countries can decide to impose tariffs on specific products to protect local markets.
Of course.
What I'm suggesting to you is that, even if we are to tap into the 3.5 trillion money available for African Continental Free Trade Area for the purposes of trade expansion, okay, if we are unable to internally look at our homegrown policies relative to how we can improve the manufacturing sector or the industrialization sector, we will not be able to still take advantage of the market that is readily available. And that is why I'm saying that in that context, then the protection of local industries is important. That is why in my paper I was talking about the one district, one factory.
Yes.
And how we could,
I'm handling the argument on two footing.
Very well.
At the moment I'm dealing with the forward linkage.
Very well.
You understand?
Proceed.
So we need to diversify. We need to trade amongst ourselves. And then you see we should also strengthen the economic ties between countries that easily welcome us. Has enormous millions of jobs that can be created. So when we have our industrial zone well structured to take up the production from the agricultural sector and then add value to them, that is when we also make enough money at the export market. Because you see, you cannot export raw commodities and expect that you are going to get anything meaningful out of it.
Right.
And so I think we need to also look at our homegrown policies very well in order to protect our local industries.
Very much. I appreciate.
Thank you for making time with us once again. We say God bless you for the good work you are doing and continue to do for us. And to all our cherished new members, we urge you to subscribe for more videos as well. Like and also share to other members of yours as well. On other platforms that you belong to, please share with them. Subscribe for more videos, please. Turn the notification bell on to keep you glued to the channel. Thank you for doing that for us.
Dedika ma mamenna PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.